Good evening. Tonight is the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education meeting for today, November 21st, 2022. We are back in open session. We just came out of an executive session to talk about litigation. I would like to ask the business administrator to once again call the roll.
Dr. Blundy. Mr. Luisi.
Here.
Mrs. Martin.
Here.
Ms. Molinelli. Mr. Stankus.
Here.
Ms. Steffens.
Here.
Mrs. Varghese.
Here.
Mr. Weaver. And Mr. Blundo.
Here. I'd ask that everyone join me in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing copies of said notice to the record, filing copies of said notice with the municipal clerks of Hillsdale, Montvale, Rivervale, and Woodcliff Lake, and publishing said notice in the record on August 15th, 2022. We will open with routine matters and the monthly reports. Sarah?
Sure. Sorry. So it's so funny. We were just here 2 weeks ago, but I feel like I have been witness to so many amazing things just in the last 2 weeks. I almost didn't know where to start with my monthly report, so I did make a couple of notes. And is this being picked up, Mr.? Okay, thank you. So first, I wanted to just mention a team of teachers and administrators visited two top-tier school districts, Stevenson and New Trier. They are high schools outside of Chicago, and they're pretty universally regarded as the top public high schools in the nation. It's hard for us sometimes to find an example of kind of that next step and that next level. And so we identified these two schools, and a team had gone out to see some of the programming at Stevenson a couple of years ago, right before COVID. So we're trying to kind of continue that conversation now, post-COVID moving forward. A couple of cool things. So they showed us about 10 different modules of best practices that they had in place. At least 5 of those modules were things that we either did or did better than what they described, which was really cool to see. They also had a couple of things that I wouldn't say are necessarily better or worse, but that are different than what we do, that are things that we're going to actually talk about. Specifically looking at, they do something really neat with advisory periods, which is giving kids a group of about 20 core peers that they stick with an advisor, an adult advisor, throughout the 4 years of their high school experience. So kind of like creating a support network to focus on the whole child as they're in high school. The other thing that they did differently was how they focus on assessment. They try to really look at a feedback loop for students, and it's kind of circled around this advisory. So those were 2 things that we picked up on that were pretty cool. We have a meeting tomorrow to discuss this with our admin team. And then the team will meet with the whole team to prioritize kind of goals and envision what we could potentially learn or apply here at PVR, which is the kind of exciting kind of next step for us to take part in. Second, I want to mention I had the pleasure of attending both Hills and Valley's fall plays. Valley put on Museum, and Hills did a comedic version of Pride and Prejudice. They were both so enjoyable. I think I actually gut laughed at both performances. One of the really neat things that I wanted to point out, because those in attendance may not have realized this, but Hills and Valley do their matinees on alternate days, so that the Hills kids go to the Valley matinee and the Valley kids go to the Hills matinee, which is really cool. And it was so cool to see that camaraderie between the 2 theater departments. An informal note, I attended a staff gathering at Valley. So Valley's staff got together Thursday. It was one of the first informal social events that they had since COVID. It was so heartening to see everyone getting along. And the other cool thing that I noticed is that almost everyone was still talking about professional practice. They were talking about their favorite classes that they had so far. They were talking about the lessons that they had done so far. And I thought it was really cool because I think it shows that our staff is truly personally passionate about what it is that they teach, because even in this social setting, we were still kind of talking about academics, but in a fun way that everybody enjoyed. So that was just kind of neat to see. And there's so many other amazing things happening at both Hills and Valleys. This morning there was a rocket launch here at Valley. There's also a Spirit Week going, but I'm going to let the student reps get into the details of the stuff that the students are doing at both schools. So with that, if you like, I can turn it over to them.
Turn it over to Olivia.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Olivia G., and I'll be presenting the Pascack Hills Student Report for the month of November. On November 9th, the Pascack Hills History Club hosted a Veterans Day panel. Throughout the morning, several history classes visited the library and listened to the stories of veteran volunteers. On Wednesday, November 16th, Hills had their 8th grade orientation, where parents and future Hills students came to the school and got a sense of the building and its operations. A variety of clubs also set up tables to promote their activities. For the co-curricular items, the play Pride and Prejudice had showings from Thursday to Sunday. It is based on the classic Jane Austen novel, but Kate Hamill's adaptation brings the humor, heart, and fun. Amazing job to everyone who helped make this show so incredible. Secondly, the Pascack Hills Medical Club and the Pascack Pioneers are partnering to host a Red Cross blood drive. It will be on Wednesday, November 30th from 2 to 7 p.m. in the cafeteria. And then for our athletic items, congratulations, Billy Mulholland, who will continue his baseball career at Bryant College. Good luck, Billy. And then for my joke of the day, how many tickles does it take to get an octopus to laugh? 10 tickles.
Oh.
Thank you.
Isabella?
Good evening. My name is Isabella Velez, and I will be giving the monthly report for the month of November. Co-curricular item number 1. The PV Executive Council held its annual fundraiser for Home for Our Troops, an organization dedicated to helping our returning wounded veterans. During the week of Veterans Day, each grade participated in the fundraiser. Thanks to the extreme generosity of the PV community, we were able to donate $500 to Home for Our Troops. Thank you to all who donated for this wonderful cause. The PV Network and Interact clubs will be sponsoring their annual toy drive for the children living at Center for Hope and Safety, a local shelter that houses battered women and their children. The clubs will also be collecting for the women at the shelter so their children can give them presents. Toys and items can be dropped off at Pascack Valley High School. The drive will run through December 12th. Last month, the Environmental Club donated gently used costumes to be reworn at Meadowbrook's Harvest Fest. We were glad these costumes were worn more than once and to be a help at Meadowbrook's Fall Festival. In other news, the Environmental Club is collecting used toys to be donated to New Jersey shelters and churches through an organization called Second Chance Toys. They will be collecting until Friday, December 9th. On to athletic items. Congratulations to the PV Boys Cross Country team for entering the Big North National Division title, Bergen County champs, and North 1 Group 2 state sectional champions. Congrats also to Coach Mert for being named Big North National Division Coach of the Year. It was a truly historic season for them. Congratulations to the PV girls soccer team for earning the Big North National Division title. Congratulations also to Coach Jerome for being named Big North National Division Coach of the Year. Finally, congratulations to the PV boys soccer team for earning the Big North National Division title. Congrats also to Coach Co-Francesco for being named Big North National Division Coach of the Year. As you can see, PV had a remarkable fall season. Congrats to all the teams and coaches for a wonderful start to the year. Fun fact, PV will be hosting the second Valley Cup week beginning November 21st. Grades will compete each day for Valley Cup points. The week will culminate with the Valley Cup Assembly on Wednesday, November 23rd. Events include a 3v3 basketball tournament, a Thanksgiving-themed relay, and a classic tug-of-war between the grades. Good luck to all the grades in this week's Valley Cup. And for my joke, how did the barber win the race?
By a hair?
No, that was a good one
Tried.
though. No, that was definitely a good one. He knew a shortcut.
Huh? There you go.
There you go.
Very good. Thank you, Olivia and Isabella. We have 2 minutes from the November 7th meetings. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Luisi. Mrs. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Stankus.
Yes.
Ms. Steffens.
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese.
Abstain.
Mr. Blundo.
Yes. Okay, so we have the fun part of the evening to recognize our students. Do you want me to read this, or how do you want to do this?
So, do you want to have Jim?
I can read this. So, whereas Riley Hallworth, a senior at Pascack Hills, has been selected as a member of the 2022 All-National Mixed Choir. Riley received the invitation to audition because she is a member of the 2022-23 All-State Mixed Choir. The audition process was virtual and involved singing scales, required solo and optional soul. Riley did very well in all aspects of this intense process. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education recognize and commend Riley for her outstanding achievement. Yeah, so why don't you go? Yeah. Ginny, you go with her. I can read.
I'll read.
Okay. Just not dressed for it.
Yes, that's right.
You look good, Joe.
Yeah, you're fine. See, you always gotta remember, dress fancy when you're doing the awards.
That's cute.
You never know.
Great, thank you.
Congratulations, Riley.
Yes, I'll read it. Whereas the following students from Pascack Hills and Pascack Valley High Schools have been accepted to the 2022 to 2023 Bergen County Choir. Raina Alico from Hills. Nicole Choi from Valley. Are we gonna do one by one or just keep going? Matthew Kovacs from Valley. Ariel Sharon from Hills. Gabrielle Brayman from Valley. Alexander DiBiasio from Valley. Zachary Lagason from Hills. Caitlin Buckley from Hills. Hayden Hopper from Hills. And Karina Shah from Valley. Now therefore be it resolved that the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education recognize and commend these students for their outstanding achievement.
Are they gonna sing a song?
That would be great.
Improv.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Next is the Governor's School of New Jersey Program in Engineering and Technology. Whereas Karina Shah, a senior at Pascack Valley High School, was nominated for the Governor's School of New Jersey Program in Engineering and Technology held this past summer at Rutgers University.
The Governor's School of New Jersey is an intensive residential summer program that brings together some of New Jersey's most talented and motivated high school students. Karina, along with her teammates, developed a novel project to realize widespread access to effective drone delivery systems. Her work led her research paper to be published in the MIT IEEE Explore Digital Library. Now therefore be it resolved that the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education recognize and commend Karina for her outstanding achievement.
Great, thank you.
The 2022 Fritz Jonak Upstander Award. Whereas Karina Shah, a senior at Pascack Valley High School, is the recipient of the 2022 Fritz Jonak Upstander Award. Fritz Jonak, a dedicated humanitarian, teacher, and coach from Milburn High School, was an active member of the Kean University Diversity Council. Karina's dedication to the Asian Cultures Club and efforts in promoting social justice and equity at PV are outstanding. Now therefore be it resolved that the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education recognize and commend Karina for her outstanding achievement.
Great, thank you.
The National Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association All-American Team for Diving. Whereas Veronica Fife, a senior at Pascack Valley High School, has been selected to the NISCA All-American Diving Team. This is the first time in Pascack Valley High School history that we have a student that made the All-American Diving Team. Therefore, be it resolved that the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education recognize and commend Veronica for her outstanding achievement.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Really outstanding. Just man.
Fantastic effort by everybody. Very proud, and you make our district look fantastic, but it's your efforts that got there, so thank you again, and how about one more round of applause for the whole group. Okay, at this point, we are opening to the public for the first time this evening. This part will be open to just agenda items, so we invite any citizen to make comments regarding agenda items. We limit discussion to 3 minutes, which is per our policy, and persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, sign in, state their name and town of residence, and which agenda item they are referencing. So we are open to the public. Seeing no hands, we will close to the public. And at this point, we do have to go back into an executive session. So we are going to ask for a motion to go in executive session. We will come back out of executive session and take care of a few remaining points of business. But I do need a motion from the board to go into executive.
So moved.
Is there a second? By acclamation, will be an executive session. You guys are the student reps. I think you're free to go if you want. You don't need to come back.
Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.
And well, you have to stay. You have to come back. You got to get out of the room. Okay, thank you for your patience. We were in executive session, and we are now back in public session. We're up to item number 9, which is policy, and we have one agenda item. Is there a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Luisi?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stankus?
Yes.
Thank you for your patience. That's okay.
Ms. Steffens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes.
Mr. Blendo?
Yes. Item 10, education. We have 4 consent agenda items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Luisi?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stankus?
Yes.
Ms. Steffens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes.
Mr. Blendo?
Yes. Item 11, human resources. Looks like we have 9 consent agenda items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Luisi?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stankus?
Yes.
Ms. Steffens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes.
Mr. Blendo?
Yes. Item 12, under finance, we have 4 consent agenda items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Luisi?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stankus?
Yes.
Ms. Steffens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes.
Mr. Blendo?
Yes. Any old business the board has? Any new business? We are open to the public for one last time on any topic. Seeing no hands, we are closed to the public. We no longer have a reason to go into executive. We've done that. So at this point, the last thing to do is to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and joyous and healthy Thanksgiving. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And we are adjourned.